Moscow has again unleashed one of its most intense drone assaults on Ukraine. At least 4 regions in Ukraine were bombed on Tuesday night. High-flown ultimatums and warnings appear to have been set aside and ignored completely by Russia. Almost a statement from the Kremlin: the more you warn, the more we fire. Ukrainian Air Force reported that around 400 Iranian-made Shahed drones were fired across the country. Among the hardest hit was Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky's hometown, Kryvyi Rih, which officials say endured the most devastating attack since the war began in 2022. The head of the city's military administration said a ballistic missile and nearly 30 drones were used in the assault, which ignited fires, damaged important infrastructure, and knocked out both electricity and water supplies. Zelensky said that Russia had targeted energy infrastructure in the city, which left at least 15 people injured. In a post on social media, Zelensky accused Russia of targeting energy infrastructure, asserting Ukraine's urgent need for more advanced air defense systems, especially air defense systems and interceptors. Now in Kharkiv, 17 explosions were recorded in a span of just 20 minutes. The rapid succession of blasts reportedly threw the city into chaos, highlighting the scale and precision of Russia's assault on Ukraine. Meanwhile, in Vinnytsia, located southwest of the capital Kiev, at least 8 people were injured in targeted drone strikes by Russia. 2 key infrastructure sites were engulfed in flames as well. Ukraine's emergency services scrambled to respond to the damage at multiple impacted zones. Ukrainian officials say that at least 3 people have lost their lives in the last 24 hours, 1 in the northern Sumy region due to artillery shelling and 2 in Kharkiv following the Russian strikes. Officials reported at least 38 others have been injured nationwide. On the other hand, Russian forces say that the country's air defense systems intercepted 7 Ukrainian-guided bombs, 1 HIMARS rocket and 103 fixed-wing drones. The attack killed 1 person and injured 24 in Russia's Voronezh region. Now, the latest round of Russian attacks come days after Trump issued a 50-day ultimatum to Putin to strike a peace deal with Ukraine or face stiff tariffs from Washington. And earlier today, Trump downplayed the idea of sending long-range weapons to Ukraine. He told reporters at the White House that the U.S., and I'm quoting Trump here, not looking to do that. So if Trump's ultimatum was meant to deter Putin, the Russian response both on air and on ground suggests exactly the opposite. Russian forces are steadily advancing in eastern Ukraine, closing in on the key strongholds of Prokofsk and Kostiantynivka. Now, by capturing these surrounding villages, Moscow is reportedly working to isolate these cities, disrupt Ukrainian supply lines, and further set the stage for a full-scale assault on Sloviansk and Kramatorsk. Experts say that if Russia takes those cities, it could seize full control of the Donetsk region, a major goal of Putin's war strategy. As of now, as Ukrainian cities burn and diplomacy teeters, it is clear that at least at this moment, Putin is not blinking. And for now, Ukraine is left to absorb the consequences. Tensions in West Asia continue to rise. The Israeli army has launched strikes next to the Syrian presidential palace and also targeted places near the Syrian Army and Defense Ministry headquarters. The attack follows a dramatic escalation in the southern Syrian city of Suwaida, where intense battles have broken out between the Syrian government forces, and the Druze fighters. Now, just hours before the airstrikes, Israel had issued a stern warning to Syria to withdraw its troops from Suwaida or face the consequences.
قصف بغارتين استهدفت هيئة الأركان بشكل مزدوج من اليمين ومن اليسار. شاهدنا قطع من المبنى تتطاير. قصف جديد يا شباب، قصف خذونا بسرعة 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 بسرعة.
إذا استهدافنا من هيئة الأركان بشكل كامل.
قصف ثاني.
Syrian security forces could be seen monitoring the streets near the military headquarters in Damascus, and that's following the Israeli strike. Suwaida, home to Syria's Druze minority, has turned into a battlefield. A ceasefire announced by Damascus on Tuesday did not even last a single day. Deadly street battles continue to flare between Druze fighters and government forces. Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara ordered massive deployment of troops in Suwaida. According to the UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, more than 250 people have died in the fighting, including over 130 soldiers of the Syrian armed forces. The Israeli government has dismissed Syria's new leadership under Ahmed al-Shara, calling it a group of extremists. Israeli officials see the Druze as potential allies in Syria and claim that their intervention is meant to shield them from state aggression.
We have an obligation to maintain the southwestern region of Syria as a demilitarized zone bordering Israel. We will not allow a return to a situation where a second Lebanon is being established there, and we are also obligated to protect the Druze residents. We are doing this through intense operations.
Well, footage released by the Israeli military shows airstrikes hitting Syrian military vehicles en route to Suwaida. Israeli warplanes launched at least 7 air raids across the Suwaida region and also struck many parts of the capital Damascus. Syria's health ministry said Israeli strikes on Wednesday killed at least 1 person and wounded 18 others. The United States, according to an Axios report, has now asked Israel to halt its strikes on Syrian military forces in southern Syria. The report, citing a U.S. official, said that Israel has assured the Americans that it would cease the attacks on Syria now. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that the United States was concerned, adding that he had just spoken to the relevant parties over the phone. But the fire is spreading. Many Israeli Druze could be seen breaching the Israeli-Syria border fence in the Golan Heights, crossing into Syrian territory. The IDF attempted to stop the breach by firing flashbangs and tear gas. Fires broke out in open fields as crowds surged across the frontier. Netanyahu urged the Druze community not to enter Syria.
The Druze citizens of Israel, the situation in Suwaida, the situation in southwestern Syria is very serious. The IDF is operating, the Air Force is operating, other forces are operating. We are acting to save our Druze brothers and to eliminate the regime's gangs. And now I have one request from you. You are citizens of Israel. Do not cross the border. You are endangering your lives.
Well, the Israeli strikes on Damascus mark a dangerous turn. Developments and diplomacy here will decide whether this conflict spreads. War shadows deepen. Can this one be controlled before it gets out of hand? All right. If you have been in a group chat or even just scrolling through social media lately, you may have noticed something strange. People are actually starting to sound and talk like AI chatbots, especially open AI's ChatGPT. From carefully worded responses and over-explaining to phrases like, as an AI language model being used, human communication is now picking the patterns and quirks of AI-generated language. According to a study conducted by Germany's Max Planck Institute for Human Development, it seems that while we are busy making AI more human-like, they might have subtly started to make us sound a little more like them. Are your friends suddenly using words like adapt or delve in casual conversation? If so, you might not be alone. Chances are that they might be spending more time with AI chatbots, and it's now starting to rub off on them. Researchers at Germany's Max Planck Institute for Human Development analyzed more than 360,000 YouTube videos from academic channels and over 770,000 conversational podcasts. They discovered that ever since ChatGPT burst onto the scene, people are using certain words far more frequently, and these aren't just everyday words. Most of them often pop up in AI-generated text. Now, what's really interesting is that these scripts are not generated by bots, but by regular folks who are beginning to mirror the communication style of AI without even realizing it. The study reveals that humans have increased their use of AI-favored vocabulary by 51%. Although this study focuses primarily on AI language adoption, some experts believe AI might also be influencing how we sound. According to a study titled Emotion AI by Trends Research and Advisory, a UA-based company, humans might subconsciously start to mirror AI's neutral communication style. The thought itself is scary and raises an important question. In our evolving interaction with technology, are we willing to risk losing the authentic human touch that actually makes us uniquely us? Well, Iceland is once again living up to its name as land of ice and fire. A volcano has erupted near Grindavik, sending rivers of molten lava and thick smoke into the sky. The latest in a series of dramatic eruptions in recent years. Take a look at these visuals.